Third phase of moon. Third phase.
It's Blake Cousins. Welcome back, everybody, from around the world. It's Third Phase of Moon Radio, and it's October 13th, 2020, and we've got a lot of UFO sightings that we're going to be going over. Eyewitness testimony, the call-in channel is open, and boy, do we have a lot of people tuning in tonight. And it's my pleasure to do this. Wow, I'm going to try my best to get to everybody, so let's just make this very clear. If you're calling in, we want to hear your story, but keep it down to about 5 minutes, and if you got a follow-up question, that'd be great, but we got to let people share their stories, so consider everybody else's time when you call in. We want to get to as many people as possible. Again, we got a quick update. There's something that the president said. He's going to be looking into a UFO incident that happened, now it's 3 days ago, and what that's all about, well, right here at Third Phase Moon, we're working on the story over there in Arizona. Something big happened over the mountains of Arizona, and we're following up. We're going to have eyewitness testimony with video evidence coming up in the next couple days, so stand by for that. It might be in relation to what the president talked about, how he's going to investigate this UFO incident that just happened 3 days ago. What's that all about? Well, hopefully we get to the bottom of this. Something's happening, guys. Something is happening. So now let's get to the callers right now, and we'll go to the top. Area code 509 was the first caller in. Welcome to the show. How you doing today?
Hi, Blake. I'm okay. This is Tad Casper off of YouTube. I've been wanting to call in for quite a while. All right, my situation happened in 1999. Me and my brother had a storage unit in downtown Salt Lake. The railroad tracks run north-south. The storage unit was on the south side of the railroad tracks. Okay, now I had a police scanner at the time, and I would always listen to the police scanner. And for the past few nights before this incident, people were calling the police reporting bright lights over their house. And this was within the same area in Salt Lake, kind of in the Rose Park area. And my brother, he was over at the storage shed, and he called me, and he's like, there's some weird people over here in these cars. And I'm like, well, whatever, you know. And then the next night, me and my mother went over there because my mother had some stuff in the storage shed. And we were pulling out after we were done in the storage shed, and we turned right going northbound along the railroad tracks. And I looked down the railroad tracks, and I saw what I thought was a big billboard sign, glowing white. And my mother was in the van with me. And I stopped. I was like, what's that? And it looked like maybe it was about 5 miles down the tracks. And all of a sudden, whoop, it just flew right past. And it was probably doing 500 miles an hour. And it was in the shape of, if you took two pyramids and you stuck them, the bottoms together to where they were facing out either direction, that was the shape of this UFO. Well, I don't consider it a UFO. It was a close encounter. This wasn't something I saw way up in the sky twirling around. This was about 50 feet away from me. It was about 10 feet off the ground, cruising down the railroad tracks. And I looked over at my mom. I'm like, Mom, did you see that? And she looked over at me, and she said she saw a city up in the sky. So we both saw two different things at the exact same time. And then that's really the end of that story. It's pretty quick. But then I had another incident happen. Huh?
Go ahead. We got a few minutes, but it's interesting. Your mom and yourself witnessed something, two different basic eyewitness testimony of whatever you experienced. But, okay, you said you saw this thing 5 miles away from you, and then within a second or so, it flew right over you. So 500
No, it wasn't over me.
It was still any kind of gust or wind. It was that close to you. Go ahead.
It wasn't over me. I was about maybe 10 yards from the railroad tracks. The railroad tracks were behind the storage shed. And so to my right direction, it went down the railroad tracks about maybe 50 yards in that direction. To my right, which would be east. I was on the frontage road, and the storage shed's right there. And yeah, my mom saw a city in the sky. Unfortunately, I didn't see that. I actually feel like I got ripped off, if that makes any sense. I would have rather seen the city in the sky. Now you know,
well,
if you want to off record, I can give you my mother's email address, and you can email her to get her testimony. You know, if
have her call into the show.
I'm obviously not going to.
I want to get her testimony. Absolutely, I think when we have multiple people with coming in witnessing the same thing, it's really important. So, you know, we got to make time for the other callers. Call in. Maybe get your mom to call in on the next show that I have. I'll be letting people know when we do this next show, when we do this radio, because people really want to share their stories. I appreciate the call in. We got to get to other callers, but I wonder if this UFO was attracted to the railroad tracks and why it would be a beeline right over the railroad tracks is kind of interesting. Anybody out there see UFOs next to railroads or anything like this, locomotives? Let me know, guys. Okay, let's get to the next caller. We've got a lot coming in, so I want to give everybody their time. Let's go to area code 661. You're live, Third Phase Moon. Welcome to the show. How you doing today?
Hello. Hello,
hey,
Blake.
How you doing today?
Good. I'm blessed, thank you. I've been a long time fan of your show and joined a couple of years ago, I'd say. I reside in West Lancaster, California, not too far away from Plant 42, Edwards Air Force Base. Got a lot of things going on over here, pretty strange. What happens is periodically throughout the day, you almost think that a B1 or a B2 is crashing near you or coming low. You go outside, there's nothing around. I live in an area where that's clear from any distraction whatsoever. I have nothing blocking my view. You go outside to look to see if you see, the B1 or B2, nothing is there. No plane in the sky whatsoever.
So you got this.
And then
you got this.
And then also
like major military aircraft making a noise, but you look around in the sky, it's clear as day, and you don't see anything. Go ahead.
Exactly. Also, then about 3 months ago, I had seen a UFO phenomenon. I emailed you about it with the evidence. I had still pictures and then video. I'm not very techie, but then on 10/10 at night, because when I'm outside, I'm drawn. Like I get those spidey senses to look up in the sky, and the moon, strange. It had a cloud over it, and then it looked like it was pulsating the moon, and it coming in and out of my video. And I took video of it. I have about a minute of video, and then I took still photos, and it looks like it's its own galaxy. And then in a 2-second video, because I know it goes, they're bleeping in and out, so they're warping in and out from the other dimensions. That's what I think why it's so blurry. And I happened to catch the moon, and it was very bizarre. And then the 2-second video I caught, at the end of it, you see what looked like 5 craft coming right directly, either coming or going into the moon, right around it. And then there's a halo cloud that's rainbow, and then you almost look like there's chemtrails that's swooping up by the moon.
Let me ask you this. You shot this. Did you upload this to YouTube? If so, give me your YouTube channel name, and we'll get everybody to go take a look at it. Go ahead.
Okay, I haven't yet, but I will. My YouTube, it's Brandelie Bonger. I didn't put it any other name. It's Brandelee.
Your YouTube channel one more time?
Okay. It's Brandelie Bonger. It's Brandilee. Last name is Bunge.
Perfect. Well, we look forward to you uploading that YouTube and that video to YouTube. we'll keep an eye for it. Send it to my email when you get a chance. And everybody, go take a look at that YouTube channel in a few moments, and hopefully we could get to see that video. Hey, thanks so much for calling in. Appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. Love the new old school that you've brought back to your channel. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It's great that we're able to open up this channel. That's why we're doing this radio show, guys, because we think the public has the information, not our government, but the public. You, the people, are the power behind this disclosure movement, and it's going to happen. And right now, we're getting people calling in, and we're getting videos as we open up the lines at the same time. This is real time, people. This is how it should be in ufology. Let's get to the next caller. We're going to move over to area code 520. 520 is with us. How you doing today? You there? 520 is going to have to make some room. I'm going to the next caller. Let's try out area code 304. 304, you're on Third Phase Moon. Welcome to the show.
Hey, Frank Cousin, how's it going, buddy? Can you hear me?
I got you.
Hello?
You're coming in clear. What's on your mind today? Go ahead.
Well, I really wasn't 100% sure of calling. Last time I made a fuss about what's going on here in West Virginia, I got paid a visit. So I'll tell you the very first story from 1993, Elkton, Maryland, at the tip of the Chesapeake Bay. It was a day before rifle season. Me and a couple buddies decided to go rifle hunting. We were supposed to meet up. Well, I go to their house. They're not up, so I got in the woods by myself. 25 feet up in a 50-foot tall tree with my loaded 30-30. It's probably about 4:30 in the morning. And I see what looks like an airplane going by. Don't pay it no mind. It's quiet. A couple minutes later, I look up. It seems to be getting closer. The next thing I know, it's 25 yards away from me, hovering over the trees, almost touching it. It's a triangular UFO, light on each corner, had a row of color lights in the back, and it was probably 40 to 50 feet diameter. It paused over the tree for about 2 minutes, then started moving forward over the creek towards me. When it started going over the creek, the row of color lights went out. Once it got over the creek, a beam of light came out of the center. And it didn't shine up the whole woods, just where the light was hitting. And I watched this beam of light come to me. And mind you, I got a loaded 30-30. And I'm looking and watching. The next thing I know, the light is at the bottom of my tree and not moving. I tell myself in my head, I'm thinking, I'm going to shoot this light out. Well, I grab my rifle, look up at the light. The next thing I know, it's daytime. About 5 o'clock, 5:30, and the UFO is about 50 yards away from me. It banked to right, and took off. And to this day, I can't remember what happened in that hour and a half. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy that you're going to engage this thing with your rifle, and who knows? They just said, look, this guy's coming out. He's going to confront us. Let's do what they do, because it's so strange when you have these close encounters. You have this missing time. Nobody knows what's going on, what happened, what induced the missing time. It's just, an hour and a half, 2 hours later, you regain your memory. And do you remember what happened like an hour and a half, 2 hours later? Were you still holding that rifle? What happened?
Yeah, I was still sitting in the same spot holding my rifle. And it was, like I said, 50 yards away, banked to right, then zip, it was gone.
Once you start engaging things with that, and they have that high technology, I don't think a rifle will do much good against him, but it is very interesting. I've seen people with my own eyes, when we had our encounter, somebody was packing a gun, and they were ready to, basically engage it as well. I would suggest against that, but, maybe that's what, maybe you were taken.
Well, back that was when I was young. I was in my early 20s. I'm 53 now. And I could go on. There's stuff that happened here where MIB was involved. I've seen an actual creature. My house is broken into, all kind of stuff. Maybe I can get a hold of you later and talk about it. That's one reason why I'm kind of leery about telling all the stories.
Well, no, that's great, and I urge you to call in again. I'll look out for your area code number. I respect that you're giving respect to other callers. I want to hear about this MIB and this other creature, so make sure you stay tuned to Third Phase when we do the show. I want to hear more from you.
If I may say one thing,
yep.
My YouTube channel, Just Look Up, there's a couple videos of some stuff that's been going on here in the mountains of West Virginia. If people want to check it out. It's not real whole bunch, but it's lights. And them lights, they fly awful low. And they killed one of my spotlights with a light. They shined on me.
What's the name of your YouTube channel? Go ahead. One more time.
Just Look Up.
Just Look Up, guys. That's a great name for a YouTube channel. Appreciate you calling in. We'll talk to you soon, man.
Later, cousins, brothers. Thanks for all your work.
Wow. Thank you. Everybody, go take a look at Just Look Up. It sounds like you've got some pretty cool stuff on there. What a great story. But we're about 18 minutes in. We've already got, I think, this is going 3 to 4 callers already. This is the way I like to roll, guys. And if you're appreciating this in the live premiere on YouTube right now, I want you guys to gently or kindly hit that thumbs up button. Give us some support. We appreciate it. All the comments. This is how it needs to be done. Ufology is in Third Phase of the Moon. Now, let's get to the next caller. We're going to go to area code, let's go to area code 862. 862, you're live. Third Phase of the Moon. Welcome to the show. $862, you there?
Let's go to 973.
All right. Well, I hear you. Where are you calling in from? All right. Non-responsive caller. Something's going on. We're just going to go to the next one. Let's go to area code 650. We've got a lot of callers calling in. 650, you there? Got a little shot. Hey, if you don't want to call in to share your story, just leave the lines open, please. We need to get to as many people as possible. Don't fill up the lines if you don't have testimony. Thank you. Area code 785, you there? Welcome to Third Phase of the Moon.
Hi, can you hear me?
I got you loud and clear. Hey, thanks for calling in. Where are you calling in from?
Hi, this is Weta. I'm calling from Northeast Kansas.
Welcome to the show. Go ahead.
I've had several.
Let's hear a story.
Awesome. Thank you so much, and thank you for the work you do. I've had several instances over my lifetime. The first one was when I was 14. I saw a regular type of disc in the air, broad daylight, just kind of popped in and popped back out on a sunny day here in Kansas. But the most compelling happened to me in November of 2001. And it was me and my husband living in a small country area. So we had, real clear skies at night, that type of thing. And my youngest son, who was 3 years old, was a part of this. So I woke up in the morning and I had a scar in my hand. It's on the top of my hand, and it would be about halfway between the knuckle and the wrist, between the first and second knuckle. Now, I'm a little darker skin, more tan-like, so when I scar, and I scar deeply, it's white, and it stays white. So when I woke up, I had this scar on my hand that was white, and it was very bright white, so it was very easy to see that I had a scar, and I had no recollection of how I got that, because normally I would scar like that and it would take several days for it to heal. My son, when he woke up, told me that he had a dream. So I asked him to tell me about it, and he started telling me about somebody that had come to visit us that was at the front door, and that there was bright lights, and it was a friend of his. So I said, well, who was his friend? And he didn't have a name for the friend, but he said he would tell me what he looked like. So I asked him to tell me, and I drew what he told me. And as he described the head and the shape of the head and the neck, it ended up looking exactly like a tall gray, like the long neck type gray, the eye shape, the way that the chin sloped. And I asked him what happened, and he said, I went to the door because he asked me to come out and play. And I said, did you go to the door? He said, yes, but you stopped me. And I don't remember any of that. I don't remember getting up or sleepwalking or anything like that. And so he described all that to me. I wrote it all down, but I found it very coincidental that I have this scar on my hand. Now, I don't think I have like an implant or anything because I don't feel anything, but the scar is definitely still there.
Yeah, no, bizarre. It's interesting because you're not the only one that they have these weird scoop marks or scars right after an encounter, but usually there's something still in there. It amazes me that you don't feel or feel any kind of indication of an implant. Are you sure there's nothing there?
I don't think so. If it is, it would be deep. And I don't ever have any sensations in my hand or anything like that. I did ask him, what happened and how come they wanted to be there with him. He didn't know, but I asked him also, did he ever say anything to you that would make you feel uncomfortable or scared, or did he tell you to not listen to your mom and dad or anything like that? And he said no, but the one thing I did not like about my friend is that he eats birds. And I found that really curious. And, of course, many, many, many years later, when the movie Paul comes out, you see him eating a live bird. And that really hit me hard when I saw that.
Yeah, that's amazing. So you're saying that your son witnessed the alien eating a live bird?
Yes, and that made me wonder if he had been visited before and not told me about it. Remember, at this time, he was only 3 years old. He's 22 now, and he just doesn't have any real recollection other than the dream. He remembers that part. During that same month, Blake, we also saw a craft above the house and above the trees. So it was November. There was no leaves, but we couldn't really see it. There was no sound like a helicopter. There was no rushing sound, but there was 3 very bright lights in a triangular formation.
Wow, it's incredible, too, because once you experience it once, it's not unlikely to have multiple experiences. But it's kind of interesting, too, that Paul is kind of emulating what your son said, about 19 years ago. No way. Maybe
Yes.
Paul, the writers of this, did some, research on abductions, and it's interesting they put that in their movie. Who knows? Maybe they love to eat birds. You just never know. But appreciate you calling in. This is incredible. We're getting so many people today. Go ahead.
Yes. That's just about it. We have a lot of activity here in Northeast Kansas that happens off and on, and I still see incidences on I-70 where there's bright flashes of light. They come in and then they gone. Our nearest Air Force base is over 200 miles away, and what they're doing, what I've seen happen, is nothing that we would have.
Well, tell you what, I got your phone number. Do you mind if we keep in touch, maybe give you a call to do some follow-up? We have people that are interested in this subject matter, and it's really brave that people are coming forward, and we're going to be making an archive. So you mind if we take down your number and keep in touch? We might want to get you back, or somebody else have an interview with you, or go on location, do a documentary. You never know.
Oh, yeah, I'd love to do that. I also got to experience a little bit of the Phoenix-type lights, but that was after it happened. Since it happened in March, I was down there in November and saw quite a bit of activity with my oldest son. But, yeah, I'd love to have you follow up with me.
Appreciate it so much. It's great. People come forward. They're sharing their contact information, their stories, their evidence. Come on, guys, give this a big thumbs up. Tell everybody that that third phase of the moon is doing something unique, something that the world needs, something that nobody's doing except third phase moon, and that's opening up the phone lines, taking raw testimony and sharing it with you to the world. I think this is one of the most amazing services going right now. People get to, just tell their story without ridicule. And let me tell you, I believe pretty much 95%, 99% of the people that call in, there's no agenda. I don't know any of these people. They're real, they're genuine, they're from around the world. I have no idea who they are, but they want to share their experience. So let's get to the other ones. They're building up. We got a lot, and I know people want to share it. So let's go to area code 808. Oh, excuse me, 818. 818, you're live. How you doing today?
How are you doing this evening, gentlemen? My name is Luthorian, and I'm an unpublished paranormalist. I'm up here in the high desert.
Wow. Go ahead.
And I wanted to say a couple of things ever since you started on YouTube. Going back to 2010 when Barack Obama tried to assail on the Dark Night satellite, which basically he broke the galactic treaty that we'd had between other galaxies with our visitors that you see in the sky. Because of that, is why it's been open season. I think is why we had an agreement with a certain amount of the Greys and some of the Clactons and some other ones from other galaxies. Well, once he broke that, basically that was it, and that's why we're seeing more. Secondly, when it comes to Donald Trump, if you must remember, his uncle owns most of the patents. Actually, owns a lot of the ideas going from Nikola Tesla. Well, now he's been able to use that to make the anti-gravity spacecraft that he's been looking, that you will probably understand and hear one day. And that's where it comes into. In my own experiences up here where I live in the high desert, I can tell you through telepathics that, the Greys are just here, visiting. And many a times the Earth is a way station for other galaxies to come through and to stop and to replenish and then to move on. That's when you see them in the sky, especially near anything that has power. But I want to just tell you that that's what I've seen. And also where I live, there is a portal over what we call up in the Big Bear Mountains, up in San Bernardino Mountains. Recently, as I was trying to do a paranormal out that way in an investigation during the fires, through this portal, there was a spacecraft and it kept flashing different colors, and there is a portal there because I've seen more than once, more than twice. I'm trying to catch one on camera for you guys, but I'm not so good. But I can tell you from my paranormal experiences so far, if you go out further, with this lady here talked about Edwards Air Force Base earlier, there's the experimental part of the base, which is called North Edwards. There is where you will find some of the experimental craft that many people, Blake and stuff, are trying to talk about. But this has been my experiences. But this is why I do believe you're seeing more, because of the Galactic Treaty that was broken. And I also want to remind you about the trip that Obama made down to the southern hemisphere in Antarctica. And the reason for that trip was very simple, because of the fact of the symbiont beings that are living there with the underground city that is there. And that's why he went, because he was sent a warning that he should have never broken that treaty, from the information that I've been able to receive from some of my sources.
It's incredible that you're bringing this up, because right around the corner we're going to be releasing our documentary. The name of it's called Countdown to Disclosure, and it's in regards to the reverse engineered alien tech behind basically the technology we're going to be seeing in the Space Force. But before I let you go, because I got to get to some other callers before the show's up.
Thank you, guys. Great show, and thank you so much.
Hold on. I want to get your opinion on this, sir. What do you think about Donald Trump saying that he's going to be investigating some UFO incident that just happened a couple days ago? What do you think where that's going to lead?
Well, I think it's going to lead to us basically coming into the Space Force, because of the fact with the anti-gravitational, recently also published with a NASA scientist on the YouTube, where it is now possible to do that. It is absolutely possible. I do believe that is going to be coming soon because of the fact it's a new way of transportation. It's a new way of space flight, and with the Space Force now becoming one of its own, especially in Area 51, which I'm not too far to be able to travel to. And with all this happening and also these different bases being used in New Jersey as well as in Florida, as well as in Louisiana, Utah, the new Area 51, I can assure you that there's space technology now because of also of Tesla's inventions. Well, I believe he was a sentient being from another time. And that's where we're going to be going with this, I think, very soon. So I look forward to your documentary because you've been spot on so many times. And through my own research, I can tell you, you guys are just doing things that no one else is doing. And I'm quite sure you're making some people in the Pentagon nervous. Well, too bad, because it needs to come out.
Appreciate it. Appreciate the support. Those words are making the hair rise on my arm right now. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're keeping a close eye on us, and so is the mainstream. Every time we break the news, it's pretty much throughout the world in the tabloids or the news or whatever, kind of following up on Third Phase of Moon's content, but not really giving Third Phase of Moon any credit. They just kind of take it for themselves and not giving credit to the source of who's breaking the news in the world. And I appreciate your call, and I think you're spot on. Something's going to happen, and it's very interesting that, Trump's family has the ownership to Tesla's patents. That, to me, is an amazing story. It almost seems fake, but no, this is fact. And let me tell you, there's things going on. There's technology within our assets, like the Trumpster says, that you couldn't even imagine. And he says it's amazing. So we're going to move on. We got a lot of calls. I think we only got time for one more. And sorry for everybody that I'm not going to be able to get everybody tonight, but you got to make sure, keep trying when you do this show again. It's my pleasure doing it. So now we're going to go to area code 7. Hello, 716. You there?
716-3.
Yeah, I'm here.
Where are you calling in from, sir?
611.
I'm coming in south of Buffalo, New York.
Welcome to the show. What's on your mind? We're losing a little time on the radio show. We got a few minutes. Go ahead. Tell us your story.
Well, what's kind of weird is, me and my friend, like a couple weeks ago, she came down to visit me. I live in south of Buffalo now in the country. And we kept seeing these weird orange orbs. And I live in the middle of 20,000 acres of nothingness. They see them coming up from the trees and stuff, and I was like, I remember seeing this weird stuff like 20 years ago in Niagara Falls. I always thought it was from the air base. And now she's telling me that when she drove home that night, she was seeing them all over, like orange orbs chasing her up and down the road. Now I'm starting to see them all over my land. And it's just weird. It's in the middle of the night.
People around? These orbs are chasing people around?
Yeah, they're like they're coming up to the treetops, and I thought they were helicopters, and they're actually chasing traffic in my area. And the weird thing is, like, I got bears and stuff around me, and I was on my land, and bears are really scared of people. I got things growling at me now that don't sound like they belong down there. You know what I mean? Like, I go walk around my property, and I got things that growl at me that it's, like, scary, I can't even let my dogs walk around at night because
So you got this activity going on. The wildlife are freaking out. The people are freaking out. You got these strange orbs. Buffalo, New York is lighting up with strange activity. You got to get this on video. You got to show me what you're talking about here.
Yeah, I'm going to try and videotape it the next time I see it. Every time I go to film it, it's like my camera doesn't want to work on my phone, and it takes like 5 minutes to work. And, if you go on, what's the website where you actually, it's the National UFO Reporting Center. If you go on there, there's actually reports of these lights in Buffalo, New York. The night I went in to report it, and somebody already reported it, seeing the lights in Buffalo. So it's happening all over, like, the western New York area from Buffalo, south of Buffalo.
All right, people, keep your eyes open. Have your cameras ready. Buffalo, New York, something is going on. That's what the caller just said. I got a feeling he might be onto something. The wildlife are reacting to something. We know wildlife, animals, dogs, they're aware of their surroundings. They know that something's going on. I receive a lot of UFO videos, and in the background you hear that dog barking because they know something's up, something's not right. Something is very strange going on. And now we hear the bears, the wildlife over there are freaking out. And what's up with these orbs chasing people in their automobiles, their cars? There's something happening, people, and it's happening right now. So have those cameras ready. And it's been my pleasure, again, taking your calls from around the world. We're going to be doing this real soon. So everybody, don't worry. If you didn't get to the show tonight, we'll be doing this on a regular basis. Third Phase of the Moon Radio is back, people. And subscribe and hit that notification bell to get notified when we do these live events. And again, I implore you to tell your friend about Third Phase Moon. Tell them to subscribe and let them know what's going on here. It's truly mind-bending what we're hearing tonight just by opening up the lines from the public. This is what it's all about. And I want to thank everybody in the live premiere and your incredible chat and support, the super chats. Wow, you guys have been very amazing and very supportive. We'll be back real soon. We've got, like I said, some updates coming in from Arizona with eyewitness testimony from a wedding. Something huge went on over the skies over there. And Doc Skinner and Richard Giordano are working on it right now so to bring you the latest news and the latest videos. Blake Cousins here, signing off. And again, be safe. We'll see you real soon.